Well then, Darren, when we spoke on Thursday, you said you just wanted that win. You didn't really mind how it came. You just wanted those 3 points, and you've got your points.
Yeah, good win against a team that have done really well of late, especially against the teams right up there, you know, and we knew it'd be a difficult game, as it was. But a bit of quality, one is it. Marcus' quick thinking, Ivan's movement, fantastic finish. And we didn't have enough of that today, I've got to be honest. The decision making, the last third, we didn't have enough of the quality the players expect of each other. But we ground it out, and a clean sheet's always good. And it was, it's a big win for us because we needed to just get the momentum back, and hopefully, we're not saying we're there yet, but hopefully, you know, we've got a lot to play for this season still. And if anyone thinks that we haven't, then I think that performance in the second half showed that we have.
Yeah, and when you've got a player like Marcus Maddison in your side, that's what you want, isn't it? That moment of individual genius, seeing something that perhaps other players wouldn't see.
Yes, he's got that awareness and that vision. By his own admission, 1 or 2 things he did today in decision making didn't just come off for him, but the boy, he's a brave player, Marcus, because he keeps taking the ball, he keeps getting kicked. He fell over when he got booked, he wasn't diving, he slipped. But there was elements of the game I was pleased about. Obviously the clean sheet. There was 1 or 2 hairy moments you're going to get, always away from home in particular. But the most important thing today was to get that win. And you know, now we've got to try and build some momentum towards the end of the season. Yeah,
and particularly with the clean sheet, you didn't have things all your own way with Josh Knight, who you'd named in the starting 11, his Posh debut, having to come off injured and make that change, which is never something you'd want to do in the first half.
No, it was a tough decision today with the 4 centre-halves I've got. But I went with Josh because, you know, I felt the way they played with the one striker would be able to build a play up from the back, and Josh is very comfortable with the ball, as is Ben, and he's quick enough to deal with the counter-attacks. It wasn't any decision, obviously, because I've left Benno out and I've left Taff out. So Josh coming off, because he started the game very, very well, looked very comfortable. And Taff's come on and done very well. I was pleased with his performance. He squeezed the play well, he won his headers, and that was a good performance.
Was it a lesson learned for Marcus Maddison when he got the yellow card? If you think back to the previous 2 games with the 2 reds, to just stay calm and get to half-time with everything intact? Yeah,
I had to speak to the players before the game in the team talk about, you know, if we're going to have players, you will get bookings in games, but our own players, the experienced ones, like, or the ones that I feel like, you know, Danny and Nessie and Woody the captain and Ivan even, they need to show that leadership's quality and say, look, we can't foul again. It's as simple as that. So Ben getting booked so early was a worry, and then obviously Marcus getting booked. But I think we just ask for the referees to be consistent in terms of, if people are going to go down and he doesn't give fouls, if he's going to book them, then he needs to do that for everyone.
With Lee Tomlin on the bench this afternoon, back from suspension, were you just keen to give George Cooper another chance, given how he played at Doncaster and the way he'd fitted into the midfield diamond?
Yeah, I think that if I see players come into the team and perform to a level that I'm happy with, then, you know, I'm happy to go with them again. Coop scored, and probably would have had a bigger influence if we'd have stayed with 11 men. Difficult decision. I have got difficult decisions. It's going to be like that every week because I've got so many good attacking players. So they're not easy decisions to make, but I went with the 3 today that started against Doncaster because I thought they did well. And then I brought Lee on to play because I felt Maddison was, well, he was causing a problem down their right-hand side, because we spoke about that in the build-up to the game. And he was a real threat, so I kept him in that sort of position, up front, but just drifting onto the right. But it was more about a desire to win the game today and head things away, and we didn't sometimes have the quality that I expect, and the players have set those standards. The pitch wasn't great, we had to really concentrate on. We need to improve in that sense, in terms of the last third with the players we've got. We need to have improvement in that sense.
Yeah, and attritional with Josh Knight picking up the injury and then Danny Lafferty hobbling off and 1 or 2 issues out there. Was Callum Cook an injury ahead of the game as well?
Callum Cook's ill. He's been in bed since Monday morning. He did come in yesterday morning, but he hadn't eaten, so there's no way he was ruled out because, 1, he wasn't fit to play, and 2, we can't bring him down and spread the illness. So we'll have to assess him on Monday morning. So I brought Dempsey into the team. I've explained the Josh Knight thing. But as I've just said to the players, I can only pick 11. But the most important thing is that regardless of who's in the team or not, we have to be a squad and we have to be a group. And that's the big thing I keep saying to them. We have to all, be a collective one. And I can't have one or two, they're not going to be happy, but they've got to make sure they respect the decision, which they do, and make sure that we're a collective one, because that's a good recipe for success. There's no question about that.
And overall, great having put all of the hard work in on the training ground and been working on new ideas to have the 3 points and have the reward to take forward.
Yeah, it's a start. We've been unfortunate that the 2 previous games we've given ourselves a mountain to climb, but it was a good reaction from the game at Doncaster, and 1 or 2 things that went on there we will try and use as a motivation for the rest of the season.